But taking a look around the American, ECU now 7-5 in the league, and we'll put up those league standings very quickly. You see UTSA atop the conference. The Roadrunners 28-9 overall, 10-2 in the AAC, and then you have South Florida, the Bulls at 8-4 and 20-13 overall. But UTSA, they were 3-0 on the weekend. They swept their series out at Wichita State in dominating fashion, 9-2, 16-8, and 5-1. The Bulls, however, dropped 2 out of 3 at home to the Rice Owls. The Owls, after getting dominated in the series opener, losing 14-3, bounced back with 15-3 and 5-2 wins. Obviously, Charlotte took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates. Tulane took 2 out of 3 from UAB at home there in New Orleans. And Tulane is now 23-14, 7-5. The Pirates 21-16, 7-5, and that was a really, really big win. Not only because it snapped a 6-game skid yesterday, but kept the Pirates in position. Where if they can figure some things out and eliminate some of those things that have troubled them in their narrow losses this year, like the ones against FAU and then also Saturday against Charlotte. You never know, because you take a look at the standings. The Pirates have UTSA in Greenville for 3 and also Tulane in Greenville for 3. And they do go to Tampa on the final weekend of the regular season. And then you have this week's opponent is UAB in Birmingham, and then Wichita State a little bit down the road here in a few weeks in Wichita. But Memphis, how about those Memphis Tigers? They go to Boca and take 2 out of 3. They drop the initial game by a run, and then they win 2 one-run games. So that was a heck of a series, between the Tigers and the Owls down in Paradise. Did you see that one, John? John, had you seen that Memphis and FAU played 3 one-run ball games? Well, I thought John was back.
Yeah, I did see that. I kind of dropped there for a minute to see if the feedback between you and I got any better, and I checked live to see how you sound, and you sound fine live. So, yes, I did see those, Bubba.
Okay. Yeah. So, any thoughts on those league standings here? 4 weeks into conference play. I was just saying that win yesterday, obviously any league win's big, but just given the circumstances and, what I was pointing out with UTSA and Tulane, 2 of the 4 teams above us in the standings. And then you also have South Florida that we have not played. So if we can get some help and get some other folks, to knock off Charlotte, we can still, to a large degree, control our own fate here.
Yeah, so you have South Florida playing Charlotte this week, correct? So you have that series going on. They're both 8-4, and then as you mentioned, we have UTSA and Tulane. So they're 2 teams they're going to battle. So, yeah, so that Charlotte South Florida is big for some movement. You would expect it to be a 2-1, and not a sweep, but you never know who's going to win in that game. But so there's going to be some movement at the top of the league after this week coming up.
And so there you have a look around the American with our AAC baseball scoreboard. Folks,